welcome back for another live stream. I'm the Trigger Rich Bontrager with my beautiful and amazing, wonderful host, Sandra D. Robinson. Great to be back again. And we've got something today to talk about that might be hitting a nerve. You may be thinking this yourself, but you don't dare say it out loud. So today, Sandra and I are going to talk about it out loud. Take it away, Sandra.
We are. And this may be very personal for some people. It may be a little controversial, what we're going to talk about, but
Yes.
I think this is just stemming from an observation that actually came up from a conversation that I had over the weekend with a fellow coach. So we're going to be talking about the coaching industry. First of all, definition of coaching industry, at least for today's sake, is it's a pretty broad thing.
Mhm.
The coach that I was talking to is actually an equine assisted learning coach, among other things. So remember, I did the retreats with horses for communication and leadership with leaders, pairing them with the horses on the ground. That is a form of coaching. So is the coaching that Rich and I do. So is life coaching. So is business coaching, executive coaching, which Rich also does. So all of these things fall under the industry heading of coaching, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And I came to Rich with a conversation that I had with this woman, and you agreed, right, Rich, right, that there was some
Oh,
stuff that was shifting.
it has shifted, but it also, again, it started with pandemic. The
Yeah.
shift was everyone got online. We were hungry. We were starving. We were trying to keep our businesses alive. And then through it, everyone became a coach or consultant or whatever
Well,
it
what
was.
a lot of people did. Yeah. It increased it like 60% or something, the number of coaches that went and got certified over the pandemic. And with respect, right, Rich,
Yes.
I don't think that anybody was ill-intentioned. I think
No.
these are well-intentioned people that want to honestly help other people and make some money.
But
So it was
then the
a good
problem
thing to do.
emerged was we went to webinar after webinar, and some were really great, and some were like duds. Some had no value, no information, and it became like this conversation. Again, please add the chat, ask questions, let us hear stories because we know a lot of people have gone through this. But the value question was: are these really coaches and consultants helping me, or is this more pain added to my life? And now
Yeah.
the conundrum is, I think, Sandra, is there value in coaching and consulting because we're all skeptical? We've all been bitten.
We're skeptical for good reason. So during the pandemic, this is what sparked this whole topic today. And we're gonna I may step on some toes. Here we go. During the pandemic, as I said, a lot of people gathered together. I mean, there are two different statistics for the business now. I saw $4 billion, and I saw something even higher. So
Mhm.
it is a huge industry. A lot of that money that they're saying it's worth this much is people that are paying to be certified. It's not necessarily people that are hiring coaches, although we are. And here's the thing that happened during the pandemic, which we've named the pandemic pollution effect. We
Yes.
feel that the industry got polluted because it got saturated. And pollution is essentially the overwhelming change in an environment that changes the healthy balance of things. That's considered pollution. And so it happens in other industries as well. Well, during the pandemic, a lot of people saw this as a way to pivot. They went and got certified with love and respect. We were all new coaches at one time.
Yes.
It takes time. If you look at the people that are still at the top of the coaching industry, like Anthony Robbins, like Mel Robbins, like Lisa Nichols, these people have been up there for decades. There's a ton of experience and knowledge there. And they do train other people to go and do those things. If you are a new coach, you just don't have all of those tools to pull from. And there was also, along with the surge of new coaches, there was a lot of people, and probably I can put my hand up as being one of them, during the time that said, gosh, I need somebody to help me, because
Right.
we had the
Yes.
angst of being locked down. We had anxiety, we had loneliness, we had a sense of despair, depression, just a total sense of needing to be in control of something and have something to look forward to. So a lot of people did say, I'm going to hire a coach. And who knows how that was chosen, but what we've discovered is that maybe the saturation, maybe a lot of people that we've heard paid for coaches and didn't let's say, less than stellar results,
Right. Right.
then actually reaching their goals, they did not reach their goals. And so they felt that coaching was a waste of time. I'm just going to learn from YouTube. I'm just going to go buy a book. There's quite a difference in having a good coach and reading a book. It's like trying to learn a sport and reading the book. It's just not really going to work. So
Dan
that's
Goodwin jumped in. Hang on. Dan's got these certifications aren't necessarily
yes,
a good way to measure the probability of success. The ROI factor. What's the return on investment? Just because you have that little badge up there doesn't mean you're a certified coach or the best certified coach. You may
true.
know some knowledge, some good knowledge, but be the best of the best, like the Tony Robbins, like Sandra mentioned. There is a gap. There is a distance of experience and information that you need to bring back. And I think that's what some of us went out there. I'm going to sign up for this class. I'm going to hear from this coach. And we were disappointed, left wanting
Yeah.
because the badge said one thing, but the reality was different.
So true. And I was talking with a friend of mine, like I said, this weekend, and she is an equine assisted certified coach. We're certified in the same thing. And she actually has other certifications, as do I, but we share one common certification that we spent. She's actually going through the second portion of it now. I would say in total, it took us 2 months of work, solid work, 2 solid months of work. That's not all like within 2 months time. That's 2 months of work, doing the homework, recording things, practicing, getting time in, getting time with clients and recording that, getting it logged, having conversations with the trainers. 2 full months solid training before we even got the first certification, and we're on level 2.
Right.
I see when I log on in my browser, as we do, these things pop up on the side, right? Those little things, they think they target you, and it says become an equine assisted learning coach in 1 day. I was like,
Right.
wow. So can they say that they're certified? Yeah.
Or the
They
5
can.
easy ways or the 3 easy steps. We all got used to hearing that so much. And then we tried to apply those and we said, the results are not what you're telling me they are. I actually went to some events of a very well-known guy that emerged during this time. Well-intended. He did get good information.
Yeah.
But the slide after was he's gone. I don't see him anywhere. I don't hear about him. So there was a lot of desperation. I think there was a lot of people wanting
Yes.
to help other people because we were all stuck. We were all pivoting. I still hate the word pivot. We were reinventing ourselves. And we thought, if I can't do it myself, there's got to be an expert out there that can help me. And I think part of that was great people wanted to do it, but even
Yeah.
they knew they weren't given the results that were transformational. But by the way, we are not going to be all negative. We do have tips to help you
Yes.
evaluate, to look at coaching, to see how to get great coaches because we are both coaching consultants. We both work in
Yeah.
this space, but
I
we don't
believe in
cover everything.
transformation.
We
I believe in
cover
transformation, right?
yes,
I believe that people can get better, people can change, and you can shift your life to where you want it to be, to a more desirable place. I believe this 100%. I believe you can change your habits. If I
yes,
didn't believe people would change, I wouldn't have been coaching people since 2010. Oh my gosh, that seems like so long ago. But while my focus has changed, it still is at the bottom of it is a belief that people can change. If they really want to, they can change. And it does help. I do believe in coaching. I've had wonderful coaches. I wouldn't be where I am in my journey at all if it weren't for some great coaches. And I will also say, I have been one of those that has had coaches that were not aligned. And that's one of the reasons why we have some tips for you today on how to choose the right coach for you.
yes.
So
So number one is
let's
you
make sure
should
we get to
stalk
that.
them in a good way. You should stalk them. Check them out. Take your
Yes.
time to research who they are, especially in this day and age.
Yep.
There's such a plethora. Again, we're not knocking that, but we're just saying check them out. Sandra and I have close to 60 years combined media, TV, radio training. We're in the media business. We are media
Yeah.
experts. This is where we thrive and shine. We are not farmers or anything else. This is our space.
Well, I'm close. I'm close to being a farmer. I mean, I have a farm, so
You
but
have a
it's
farm.
that
But
was a little that was
check
funny.
them out. Check them out.
Yes.
How long? Watch their videos to see if they are the caliber, the information, or the other topics that you're looking for. Do they bring the value, the ROI? Can you say, I can listen to this take that and I know I can apply it? Or is it all, and I talk about the gap. There's a gap in what you hear online to the real secret sauce that they don't give you all the information. That's so frustrating. But do they really have it? And again, are they aligned? Sandra, I think that's a very good tip that
Yes.
they have to be aligned with you to really get the most out of great coaching consulting.
100%. Your values, they have to be aligned with where you want to go. So think of it as not that you're seeing this conversation with a coach as them being more all-knowing and more powerful than you. They only are in certain ways. You have the power to recognize, where do you want to go? What do you want to attract into your life? What do you want more of? Are these people actually aligned in that? Are their values like yours? Do they understand where you want to go? Are you in completely different industries where they go, oh yeah, sure, I can help you, and yet they don't have the actual literal knowledge that they need in order to get you where you want you to go? And sometimes business coaches don't have to know much about your business. They're dealing with your mindset more than anything. So maybe they don't, but feel out what feels right to you and what doesn't feel right to you. And I hired a coach that, great coach for some people, not the right one for me. And then a few months in, because I didn't do a lot of this pre-work, let's just say I was desperate. I was at a very low point emotionally and financially. And I got on a call with this gentleman who I'd known for a long time, liked him as a person. He said, let me coach you. I didn't think it through. I didn't do the stuff that we're talking about here today. I said, sure, let's do it. And I gave over lots and an obligation to give him lots and lots of money. Truly, he was very fair. This may not always happen. After a few months, I pointed out, we are not aligned.
Yep.
And with love, we separated, which is awesome. I have since been on his show. He has interviewed me. I've interviewed him. Like we're good. But there was that moment. And sometimes people don't give you the $40,000 back.
No.
You know what I mean? You're stuck, and they can go upwards even from there. So it is really important to make sure that first step is taken care of.
And again, due diligence, as Dan puts in there, or check out the gatekeepers, as Kira was saying. You want to take the time to do this. This is so important. And in all reality, I'm going to say it again, we might be too transparent, but there also are scammers out there. There are good people wanting to help you.
Yeah.
And there are those that will just take your shirt. You have to do due diligence on this. You have to take the time to do this. The other thing is, take an initial consult. Book those initial calls. Now, some are free, and some people will say, even my initial consult is worth my time and effort. You got to pay $50, $100, whatever it is.
Do it.
But do it. That's your way to gatekeep, to check out, ask the questions, litmus test them, and say, and then walk away and go, I'll get back to you. You do not have to say anything to anyone to make a guarantee. I'm going to be a client. I'm going to pay your X amount of money. You don't have to do anything until you want to.
Absolutely. Yeah. And don't feel pressured, which I'm going to get to that in a second. That's one of our next topics of how to actually find a coach that's going to work for you and make that good decision, because there are plenty of good coaches out there. There are plenty. They may have had to pivot. What we observed is they're pivoted in some of the ways that they work with people, because there hasn't been that saturation and people are unsure. And so there are many ways, sometimes more affordable ways, to work with really high-end coaches right now. So while we're in this sort of flux, it's a great time to really go out and find an excellent coach for you. The third thing that you can do is to have a measurable goal or outcome. This is whether it is a business or a life coach. Like, what is it going to look like in your bank account? What's it going to feel like when you get up in the morning? Really get clear. When will you know that you have gotten what you want to get from hiring this coach?
Well, and ask the questions. Don't just take what they tell you. Ask questions of them. Who have you helped in the space before? What have been the results those clients have had? Can you tell me kind of the path that we're going to be on and the journey you're going to take? Hold behind the mask a little bit, and don't just say, well, I've got 10 weeks, and in 10 weeks we're going to cover this, and 10 weeks you're going to be rocking.
Yeah.
That's
I love
not
it.
the answers you want.
No, it's not real. So I love that Kira puts in. We often the really great coaches are the ones who aren't as visible. They're the best kept secrets, and that is true. One of the most powerful women that I know that coaches doesn't even have her face on her website.
Yes.
It is referral only, and it's freaking brilliant. But she gets well over six figures for each client, and you don't start off like that. Okay, she didn't start off like that. Just saying, but and she may not be one of those that you're able to afford. A lot of people cannot, but there are amazing coaches out there, and they aren't always waving the big flag that says everybody works with me, everybody works with me, everybody works with me. It's not necessarily the big and shiny that is the right one for you.
Well,
It's about finding the right one for you.
Well, which brings up another litmus test. No matter what industry in, you know of someone that probably had a coach within your common industry.
Yeah.
Reach out. Hey, I'm looking at Bob's resume here as a consultant, as a coach. Was Bob good? Did he help you? I heard you work with him. And get someone's legitimate response before you dive into the deep end. I
Yeah.
think personal referrals, recommendations are huge to help
Huge.
figure out the truth. But don't just look at their website. That's only going to be the best of the best. Don't just look at their LinkedIn profile with all the recommendations. Those are going to be the best of the best. They do help. But if you know someone in your field, get on the phone, get on a Zoom, talk to them about the pros, the cons, and everything. Have a good reflection of who they really are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an opportunity to open up more conversations for you as well. And then finally, the thing that I said, don't let them pressure you, kind of comes with stay within your budget. Don't be
Yes.
pressured to mortgage your home. Now, I know that coaches specialize in getting people out of their comfort zone, right? My last couple of lives have been about getting out of your comfort zone. And physically, I'm doing that with some workouts and some running, and it's been extremely hot. And I made a joke about that. But the comfort zones physically also exist mentally, emotionally. So if you have a limit to how much you're going to spend mentally, it's good to push that. I think that if you invest in yourself with a coach that is rightly aligned with you, and you are clear in the last couple of steps that we talked about, that it's very healthy for you to do that, because you realize that if you want to invite this higher level of success into your life, into your business, then you need to put that forward. Like, I do not hesitate to pay somebody their worth, because I want to be paid my worth. So sometimes it hurts, where I'm looking at the total of what I owe a coach, a couple of months ago, I'm like, but I hired him to coach a specific arena of my life, and he was perfect for it, did a great job. And I thought, something, I am going to change my attitude and happily write that check out to him, because that is exactly what I want. I want people to look and go, yes, she's worth it. Yes, Rich is worth it. Yes, let's do this. And it's really about that mental framing of money. However, the warning here is I have sat with coaches that will talk somebody out of their life savings.
Yes.
Talk them out of they'll second mortgage their home.
Mm-hmm.
Caution. If somebody is taking you into that danger zone, that red zone, are they really out for your best interest?
So Dan got a great comment. I want to support Dan here, because this is great coaches will refer you to other great coaches if they're not the one. That's true. That's coach. If I'm not the guy to help, Sandra might be, and I'll say, let me refer you to Sandra. She specializes more in that area. Hand the ball off.
Yep. I'm happy to do that. I'm really happy to do that, because I do get asked to do things that aren't necessarily in my wheelhouse, or maybe it's an industry that I don't know much about. And I am more than happy to send someone off to someone else of quality. And that's a great way to find a coach that is aligned with you. Yeah.
By the way, I do want to say, we both believe in coaching. We're not just coaches, but we believe to elevate to the next level, there are blind spots. You've heard us talk about that before. There are limitation beliefs that we have. Coaching do make a world of difference. So hear us clearly. We're trying to help you look through and be sharper, because we all have felt the pain, the loss, the disbelief, the loss of money, And we walked away going, that was not what I signed up for. And it's really,
Yeah.
really bad. Yeah, the credit card thing, don't just throw it down
Get a
and
loan off your granny. Yeah, I love
yeah.
that. If you really wanted this change, you would do this. If you don't, then you really don't want it. It's such a dangerous conversation. It's a really dangerous conversation. And I know a lot of mindset coaches will go there. And
Also, oh, sorry, go on.
no, no, that was it. It's a slippery slope.
The
Yeah.
other thing is the studies are showing most coaches, from the coaching side here for a second, most coaches, 85% are saying they prefer coaching online. Hear
Yeah,
that.
which is interesting.
83% of the people wanting coaches prefer it as well. There's something now that we've learned through pandemic. One of the great things was you can do business here. You can be intimate here. You can break the glass here. There's something about this system does work. It's one-on-one personal attention or group sessions. But people have learned there's no travel, there's no hotel, there's no bad food, there's all the things. You can do it at home and grow your business and grow your brand. So it is valuable to
Yes.
use online coaches,
Yes.
but you still have to do your due diligence, as we've mentioned, to make sure you have the right coach for you.
And I know what Rich and I have a master class that we've been doing every month, and that's online coaching, group coaching.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that I loved it for my private clients over, and I never thought that I would say this when I first started having clients online, I like it over being in person a lot of the time because we have the session recorded and it's clear. And I can record sessions if I'm working with somebody in real life, as it used to be. They used to come to my studio and I would work with them on camera and we do playback. And that was really, really, really beneficial. But they didn't have the entire session recorded. And so there were a lot of notes that maybe got missed. And so I think it is very comfortable for a coach to be able to do some things online as much as we can, because I think we can give more in a lot of ways.
By the way, there's a QR code for what Sandra was just talking about, the class. We'd love to come join us. And again, the other thing is there are a lot of jaded people. My inbox, Sandra's inbox, probably your inbox is filled with requests for this class, for this coach.
Yeah.
We get bombarded with it now.
Yeah.
Take a breath. They're not all bad. They're not all for you. There are a lot of AI bots producing stuff now. And again, we actually want to encourage you to take advantage of the good services, the good coaching out there, because we believe in elevating. But you know, the best thing you have on your computer is that delete button. Delete, 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 delete the ones that don't match, that they don't have an accurate email, they're not clearly who they are. Don't even waste your time researching the obvious ones. Just delete it and move on, but research the ones that may be of good value to you.
Yeah. Make sure that they didn't take that. I mean, would you want to go to a chiropractor that took a weekend course? They probably have those. Surgery in 48 hours. We'll teach you how to do it. Come on in. No.
Well, and again, I've been in church ministry. You can be ordained to be a pastor online in 24 hours. I don't know if I want pastoral counseling from the guy who went from a body shop to pastoring in 24 hours. I just don't know if I want it. We have to be careful. Now, that being said, there are places on both of our websites that talk about our experience, our time. You can see it. I do not have a certification badge on there, and I'll explain why real briefly. Part of the reason I do not have a badge on there, so many people got a badge for $29.95. You can get the badge, and it doesn't mean anything. It actually scares people away now. I would rather you check me out, do that initial call, and then I can tell you who I am, what I am, versus just looking at that badge. Because the badge sometimes like a bad bumper sticker on your car. You want it off your car as fast as you can get it sometimes, right?
Oh my gosh, that's so true. That is so true.
Okay, we have another comment coming in here. Any advice on knowing how
to vet and evaluate a coach? My struggle is not knowing if a coach is a good or suitable one. Yet the steps that we mentioned before, like actually we said stalk them in a good way.
Yeah.
But they should have a presence online. Even if, like I said, I have a coach that's a friend of mine who I think extremely highly of. She's absolutely amazing. and her clients pay her well over six figures, she can still be found online. You can still see her interviews. You can see the things that she has done up until just now. She can go kind of silent because it is basically high end referral for her. But you can still see what led up to her at this point. So somewhere there has to be something that you can find on them. If you don't find a lot on them, then that should tell you something right there. And look for videos, look for their websites, but of course
Yep.
their website's going to be biased. But look, is it updated? Is it up to date?
Yep.
What are the things that they're writing in their blog? Do they jive
Mhm.
with you? Is it something that you go, oh, this person's going to get me? Or, I don't know if I agree with that. Pay attention to that. And if you're still not sure when you're reading through some of the material or watching them, this is where it helps to be in touch with your body. And this is going to sound a little woo, but if you follow me, I'll go there. Is it feel light when you are thinking of connecting with them, or does it feel heavy? Does it feel like unsure, like a hesitancy? Because that light, that drawing to the other person is probably something that you want to follow at least and have that consultation. Absolutely have the consultation with them. Tell them where you want to go. And if they ask the right
Yes.
questions, and right there in the consultation, a coach should ask you some questions that show
Mhm.
you that they're going to have you thinking from a different perspective, because that's what a coach does. Am I right, Rich?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to have inquiring questions. You want to have qualifying questions. The other thing that I think some people have is we all are looking for the lowest price for the best coach in the world. We wish Tony
Yeah.
Robbins was $29.95. He's not going to be $29.95. He's not, okay?
No. And anybody that trains him isn't going to be 29.95 either. Anybody
Exactly.
that he's trained. Yeah.
And so the idea is if you're looking for quality coaching, there is a quality price level that you will get. I'm not saying they're all going to be 50,000, 30,000, but if you're looking to really push yourself, don't shop for the $59 coach. You're
Yeah.
not going to get it. It's just not going to happen.
Now,
So
there are
be
some ways that you can do group coaching, which is why
yeah,
we're offering group coaching, right? You can do some group coaching, which might be at a much more affordable price with a coach that you're considering investing in. And that way you kind of get a taste of how they deal with people, with how do they work? Is it comfortable for you? And that's actually a really smart way to kind of tap your toe into their water and see, is this going to be the place that I want to swim?
also group coaching is fun sometimes because you learn from the other people. They ask questions that you would never ask, you never
True.
thought of. You hear things that maybe directed at another person, but you're thinking, wow, I'm glad you said that today, Sandra, because I needed to hear that. And I wasn't even thinking about it. Sometimes that group dynamic or room dynamics is really, really powerful. So don't think you have to do one-on-one coaching.
It's true. That's true. I
Open
mean,
up the box a little bit wider.
yeah. Yep. And we're learning from doing our group coaching too, that people, like you said, people will ask questions and somebody will be sitting in the audience, if you want to say that. Some of the other students or participants will go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that so and so asked that question, or I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I saw this person go through that hot seat because that was how I was feeling and they didn't have the courage to put their hand up and somebody else did. And so in a way it can kind of move, the group can kind of move you along until you're ready to get in front, ask for the hot seat. And I know I've been in plenty of groups that I have paid for, and I've sat for many meetings without asking for, the information from the group, the hot seat, the coaching seat, or whatever, because I wasn't yet comfortable yet. So it can help you. The group can carry you along until you're ready to actually get that input from everyone, and it should feel good. The group should feel comfortable. You should feel like it is a safe place. If at any point you are having a conversation with a potential coach and you do not feel emotionally safe, end the conversation right there.
Right.
End it. And I mean emotionally safe as in if somebody starts criticizing you or saying you should, well, that right there is what caused you problems. Or if they bring you down in any way, if they criticize you that feels like you're being put back into your place, then that is a coach that is coming from ego. That's not going to serve you. I think somebody here might have been Kira that said a good coach doesn't come from ego. And that's so true, because it's not about, if I'm coaching somebody, it is the last thing is me. It is not about me.
Kira's bringing up a good point. She's illustrating the fact you can get in for smaller monthly programs.
Yeah.
Put your feet in the water, learn their personality, learn your personality, see if it's working, and then maybe invest in a deeper, longer program. There are on ramps that will help you go through some of this. But I also want to bring up a little bit of time left that we have here today is that, again, we are doing this because we want you to succeed. We also want to dispel the fear because there is so much confusion. What's the quality of your stuff? How long have you been an expert? There's all these things.
Yeah.
Let me take one step back. Before you look for a coach, consult with a coach, anything, write down what are your personal goals, what are your questions, and what is your desire for a coach to help you. Write them down. Interview yourself a little bit before you just go Googling for coaches to help me in my business. Take a minute and think about what do you really want out of a coach? What are your pain points? What are your questions? And that will naturally be a great filter before any Zoom call, any payment of anything. You will know if it's not helping me do this, I don't need it.
So true. That helps so much. And so our, like I said, we're talking today about the coaching industry, which is huge. It's very, very broad. And what we're doing at the end of this month on the 25th is specific. So we mentioned it. We'll just go ahead and mention it one more time so that you know what we are talking about when we say our coaching and our class. It's only fair if we tell you what that is, since we sort of alluded to it. And it isn't for everybody. Tell you right now, it's not for everybody. But if you want to actually raise your authority on camera, to be comfortable on camera, there is a certain level, as weird as it is, we almost subconsciously will judge somebody from how professional they come across when they're doing their videos, when they're being interviewed, when they're on camera. Even during Zoom meetings, we make a judgment about people. And I know we'd love to say we don't, but we're all biased in some way. And if somebody like yourself is representing your business, we want to make sure that you're doing that at the top level, that you are really showing up the best that you can. And that's what this class is about. So we do have a topic every time that we start a class. Sorry, there's a mower right outside my window right now. You might hear it.
No,
we good. We have a topic that we start with each class, but we're not exclusive to that. The topic this time is how to stay on topic, how to make sure that your brain is going where you want it to go whenever you're on camera, either being interviewed or doing a video for your business. So we have tips and tricks to help you with that. But then the rest of the class is all about personal time with you, with the people that are in the group. So this is one of those things where you can tap your toe in the water and say, hey, do I even like this type of coaching in this arena? Do I like these people? This is a great way to do it. It's really super affordable, and it gives us a chance to help more people that may want to really up level their business and their brand.
And just to remind everybody for a brief second, Sandra is a TV actress. She is a charisma on camera coach. She talks about the personality, how you come alive, how you glow, how you radiate, all those things that really lighten up that camera and that microphone together. Those are just some of the things that she does get into with her coaching.
Yeah.
And I've been on
And
radio and television.
Rich builds media empires for people. You know, if you want to, honestly, if you want to get comfortable on camera, he's great for that as well. I think that there's a coach for everybody, right? So he's awesome at getting people comfortable, helping you stay on point. And also, if you want to go ahead and have your own show, build that all the way up to put it into a network, he's the guy to do that for you. He can even produce those shows, which he's doing an excellent job. I've used him myself. I've recommended him to my clients and to my associates. So he comes from many, many years of broadcast experience. I come from being in front of the camera for many, many years. And most importantly, I come from a space where I hid behind characters as an actor. So that was not the strongest, most powerful personal presence that I could ever have. So from my journey, it was actually an internal one to be able to feel comfortable being myself on camera and being myself as a speaker. It terrified me greatly. So that's what I mean about here's two coaches. We're teaching the same thing, but probably one of us is going to resonate with you maybe even a little bit more. And that's a good thing. That's good.
And during our masterclass, you get the best of both worlds. You get both of us.
Yeah.
So we do bring different viewpoints, different lenses to the one topic that we're diving into. So it is loads of fun, and we're helping you. But that's what we want to talk about this today. There's a pain point. There's a myth. There's a downslide when it comes to this coaching industry, and we're all whispering around it. We're all having conversations at conventions and meetings. We thought today we would pull off the Band-Aid and just be a little bit real with you about, we realize the pains, we know the pains, and we want to be part of the solution, but we also want to help you do better with what you do to make those great solutions and decisions for growing and shining brighter.
Exactly. Exactly. So join us on the 25th. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the comments. I love it. And if you're seeing this after the live is done, you can still leave comments, and we're going to come back and take a look and see if we can help you with any of that. But would love to see you on the 25th. If our group coaching is something that you're looking for, then perfect. And if not, if we give you any information to help you make your decision on finding the great coach for you, then let's do that. Let's recognize the coaching industry as being very valuable, and let's get it back to healthy. How about that?
That sounds great. That's the amazing, the incredible Sandra D. Robinson. I'm Rich Trigger Bontrager. Connect with us on social media, ask your questions, and we'll see you next time.